You know, I did not think I would be making this video quite this soon. I was trying to wait, but with all of the information that has surfaced the last couple of days and the new reports that just came out today, I feel like it is the perfect time. Is it a eulogy? I don't know. It might be, but we need to discuss the absolutely abysmal product that was put on display last night by the 76ers and talk about what it means for where this team is headed. But more importantly, we need to look at specific players and coaches, and most specifically talk about Joel Embiid, because ladies and gentlemen, his career could be in jeopardy. That's right, over. I'm as mad about it as you are. So we'll get into it all, but welcome in to Philly Take with RB. I do this every single day, man. Support a creator. Thank you to all the members, the loyal watchers, all that. Anybody that's copped merch. I have my Sixers therapy tee on. You can check them out on the site. Everybody needs therapy with this damn team right now. We come into today, and the Sixers have the 6th worst record. They're the 12th seed in the East. And look at Toronto, who won a couple nights ago. Guess what? The Sixers are creeping up, and we have to talk about it, man. We'll go down the line, but I want to start it off with a question to the people out there. I asked it on my live stream last night. Is this worse, what we are seeing right now from the 76ers, than the process years? Is this product even worse to stomach than what we saw a decade ago? Give me your thoughts. I'm curious to hear what you think about that down below, and we'll get into it all. I'll give you my answer to that question, but first I have to shout out to the sponsor of today's video, and that is Mando, which actually is very fitting because while the Sixers as an organization reek and smell like crap, you don't have to, because you have to go check out Mando. If you're somebody who's been trying to find that right deodorant for you, you want one that can survive a long day at work. Maybe you're getting ready to go on a nice date so you don't have to sit inside and watch the Sixers. You clean the car, you get a fresh cut, but you got to throw on the Mando, man. Mando's a whole body deodorant created by a doctor who saw how body odor was being misdiagnosed and created an amazing product line. If you check out the Mando starter pack, you have obviously the whole body deodorant, can be used anywhere. You have the invisible cream deodorant, and then you even have the spray deodorant, which is invisible as well. My personal favorites are Mount Fuji and Bourbon Leather. Very cool, unique, smooth smells. They last all day. They're very comfortable. They don't irritate the skin, and they're just very unique in the product category. Personally, it is the best deodorant that I've ever used. Shout out to them for hooking me up with some. They are currently America's #1 whole body deodorant formula that is out right now, and they are clinically proven to control odor better than a shower with soap alone. So you got to check it out, man. Check out the Mando starter pack. That's what I recommend. Comes with a solid stick deodorant, a cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of choice like body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. And new customers can get $5 off the starter pack by using my code PhillyTake5 at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. Use the code PhillyTake5. Let them know that RB sent you, and don't smell like the damn Sixers right now. Okay, man, I guess we have to talk about it. Look at this graphic right here. The Sixers give up 142 points last night, but not only that, against a team that has 50,000 guards on the roster. They're down their starting center, Nikolai Vucevic. If you thought the last game against Brooklyn was bad, where they lost without D'Lo and Cam Thomas playing, they were down 50 points to the Chicago Bulls, who are also tanking. And it's not even like they were down. I could understand if you're tanking, right? You pull everybody out. You're playing the David Roddies of the world who are chucking up threes, hitting a Dembona in the top of the head. I understand if you have a complete team of that on the floor. You had Tyrese, Maxey, and Paul George in the game, and you were down 50. It's almost impressive that you can tank like that. It's almost not even possible to tank that good or that bad, however you want to look at it. And ladies and gentlemen, it gets even worse, right? Because we look at the future outlook of this team and we look at Joel Embiid. Okay, if Joel and PG's contracts were up at the end of the year or next year, we'd say, okay, at least we have something in sight for the future. But like I've mentioned many times, these guys are under contract for the next 3, 4, 5 years. And this is the initial report that came out yesterday. Okay, the Sixers and Joel Embiid are consulting doctors and considering alternative options on his injured knee. Sides have hoped for progress, but his efforts to play and current treatments, including injections, have not provided any improvement. Then he gets hurt the other night trying to jump on a 3-point attempt where he's trying to block it. The guy pump fakes and he comes down, hurts his leg even more. No matter what this guy does, he gets injured. And further on that, Shams said that the Sixers were consulting specialists on the best path forward with his ailing knee. Like I told you at the beginning of the season, that clip will live rent-free in my head where they said that they consulted 9 doctors and still blindly gave him that 3-year extension on top of the 2 years he already had. But what comes out today is almost like the gut punch. It's like the nail in the coffin. And ladies and gentlemen, here is what is being reported by the Philly Inquirer today. Joel Embiid could undergo a meniscus replacement procedure or a procedure where doctors break a bone in his hip to realign the joint and alleviate pressure. Now, I've actually heard somewhat of this happening before. Like I think spoken to somebody who's had something similar to this done. I don't know exactly, but pretty much they go on a whole, explanation here about how it could realign the joint, alleviate pressure. One source calls the procedure radical in light of the mundane injury and surgery that brought Embiid to this point. I've said now for a couple weeks, like, when's the medical staff going to get that spotlight, right? We've been wondering these things for 10 years, but now we're at a point where this guy's knee literally is not healing. And you have how many years left on this contract? Like, there's not even a way you're going to be able to trade this contract, move off it. If he ends up, saying goodbye to the game, I guess there's something financially where, I guess part of it would count against the cap. I don't know exactly. But ladies and gentlemen, after hearing this today and hearing what we heard yesterday and hearing a couple nights ago, how Paul George and Nick Nurse and Tyrese Maxey are openly discussing Joel Embiid. I already said it's crazy enough that they're throwing him out there on the floor. That is the malpractice part of this situation. Like, even the other people in the organization know he is brutally injured. And they're still throwing him out there, and now he needs these extra procedures done. I mean, you're getting to this point, ladies and gentlemen, his career could be in jeopardy. That's not me reporting. I'm just telling you what the vibes are from what everybody is saying. And part of me feels very awful that this guy chases the American dream, comes over and doesn't touch a basketball until he's a teenager, ends up getting drafted 3rd overall, misses 2 years, and then ends up becoming an MVP. And he's dealt with injuries his whole career. He's played with injuries his whole career. Yes, he, shares in playoff blame, but some of these narratives out there right now, I had to tune it out. I can't even listen to it anymore. Like the insane things people are throwing out there. I mean, Joel has elevated teammates. Like, he has gotten a lot of people paid. He has given this team a chance. He has not been perfect, but this guy, at least numbers wise, is one of the best in Sixers history, in center history. Like, he has helped change the game. And to be here at 30 years old, coming off a bad injury last year, and obviously he played in the Olympics, and I do fault him for that. But knowing that his knee has not gotten better, and now they're talking about breaking his hip, trying to alleviate pain and pressure and all this. He already discussed how he was mentally depressed at the beginning of the year. He might get to a point where it is time to hang it up. And if that does happen eventually, I will always appreciate the great moments that he has given this franchise and this organization. I cannot believe that we are here at this point. But if he was already down bad and his knee's not getting better and he's trying to play and you could see like he can't even run or jump. I mean, at this point, obviously the Sixers want to move on and cut the losses and try to find a way through this. But even for him, man, I mean, his career might be done. His career might be over. I can't believe I'm uttering these words. But the more and more we hear about this, first off, he should not step on the floor the rest of the season. Absolutely not. But then again, it's almost like when he's on the floor, the Sixers are worse and it gives them a better chance to tank. But then I hear guys like Nick Nurse, and I feel like Nick Nurse is actually trying to win, but he can't figure it out because he's going bonkers. Look at Nick Nurse's face last night. Nick Nurse has aged 20 years since he's been here. I mean, you were down 50 to the tanking Bulls. I mean, that's not even possible. Nick Nurse in his post-game presser says, I don't know if they started tonight when asked if the team had given up. I mean, bro, that's the type of game that gets everybody fired, but the Sixers aren't going to do it because now they know where they're at. Like, they are trying to lose games. They need to shut down Maxey. I mean, keep Paul George, and he's contributing to the tank, you know, but all these guys, even Maxey's playing bad too, but I feel like the young guys would give more energy. And we said that a couple weeks ago when they won 4 in a row. And then the old guys came back. Yabusele gets benched. Like, so many weird things. I feel like this season isn't even real. You can't even make up the level of ineptitude with this organization. And it feels like you're far away from figuring it out. Nick Nurse says that his team lacked energy, life, and vibe. Emphasized professionalism. Listen, man, players have given up. Coaches have given up. Nick Nurse got off the bench one time last night. I don't even think they're saying anything in the locker room. I don't even think they're practicing. I think they just show up, do shoot around, go to the games. I don't think anybody's talking to anybody. They have all given up. And there's been like 4 points in the season where we felt like that, but this is insane. It's so bad. Stephen A. Smith on First Take today says, I'm getting concerned about Nick Nurse. You've always heard me say, stay off the weed. I'm encouraging him to get on some based on everything I've heard. Go ahead and use it. Let him smoke it. You can't be more depressed than this man is. He looks depressed. He really does. Like, imagine winning a championship. You take a pay cut to come here and you can't figure out how to not be down 50 points against a bad team. It doesn't even seem real. It's hard for me to put into words. It's incomprehensible. And the guy, the MVP franchise cornerstone who has given you a lot, to just go from one extreme to this. I know he's been hurt his whole career, and people are going to say, oh, well, how did you not see this coming? Nobody saw this man not being able to play 15 games in the whole season. I mean, this is just mismanagement at its finest. The organization reeks, man. They need some Mando. They need to blow it up. Just put it in the chamber and blow it up. Oh my gosh, it is unbelievable. Paul George is the only guy that actually said something, even though we wanted to hear this 20 games ago. He says, quote, we've shown no sign of a team that will compete. We don't have the habits of a champion. That's coaching right there. Or a playoff contending team would have. To be honest, right now, it's a little far-fetched. A little? He says, all we can do is work hard and try to keep going. Nah, that right there tells me you've given up. Your body language, look at that. Very blank expression. Paul George does not care. I don't think anybody cares. Then you have Maxey, which I'm scared of him getting depressed and wanting to give up. Look at Tyrese. He's back at where he was 20 games ago. Remember, we made that video saying, hey, Tyrese is slumped in his chair. He looks absolutely depressed. Look at him. He has no answers. Nobody has answers. And the Sixers are now 0-7 since Daryl Morey made that comment about if you squint hard enough, this team can win a championship. Since Josh Harris said, we think we're going on a playoff run now, they've lost 8 in a row. And the vibes have never been this bad. This is absolutely worse than the process. Because even with the process, even though people didn't like it, they had a goal in mind. It was, let's be as bad as we can, get the top pick, and try to figure this thing out. The Sixers don't have any plan right now. They're trying to figure it out, but they have Maxey and Paul George on the floor, and even Embiid sometimes, and they can't even be competitive. Maxey was asked about his message to the team. He was also asked about if the team gave up, and he says, we all started playing basketball because we love the game. It's fun. A lot of us should be competitive, so that's how I feel. I play the game because I love it. I play the game because I'm extremely competitive. I like to win, and I got a lot of pride about winning and just putting forth the effort that I put in, and we do that as a group. So when we step out on the court, we got to go out there and show that. Even Tyrese Maxey has given up. I mean, you can't ask for a worse situation. And then on top of it all, Gershon Yabusele gets hurt. He has 2 eye abrasions and corneal bruises. I don't even know. I've lost track of the terminology with this team and their injuries. But you can't even draw up a season this bad. Major changes are needed. This is worse than the process. And ladies and gentlemen, I think Joel, just for his human being and his self-worth, I think he might consider hanging it up, depending on how bad the next step is, the next procedure. Like, does he want to keep doing this? I don't know, man. It's tough. It's sad. It's a very sad situation. If you don't feel at least some, sympathy here, I mean, you need to check yourself out, man. This is a brutal situation. That's all I got. Give me your thoughts down below. Appreciate y'all, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.